Hi guys, welcome to Frostbites podcast. My name is Minna. I'm coming to you from northern Finland. And this is my podcast about knitting and sewing. And today I will also talk about my first attempts at natural dyeing. I have no idea what the date is. I think it is 5th of August or something. It's a Saturday. And I am back in the countryside for the weekend, and I thought that I would film an episode here while I'm doing my dyeing. So this episode might be a bit all over the place. I have to check my kettles and the temperature every now and then, so there might be some weird cut-offs, but I hope you don't mind. It's a bit rainy day as well, so that might also be one reason why I stopped recording abruptly. At the moment it's not raining, it's very cloudy, and the weather forecast said that it would be raining until afternoon, so we'll see how it goes. It is almost midday now. I haven't spoken to you since Jyväskylän Summer Knit Festival, so on this episode I will also show my yarn haul from the festival. But let's start with the fact that I don't have any FOs to show you this week or this episode. I have finished one secret project, but I'm not able to share it with you this episode, probably not even the next one, but I will show you when the time is right. So we will move on to whips straight away. I have 4 project bags with me, so let's see what we will find here. First of all, I have a half-finished object, which is the Vanilla is the New Black sock. And this is my festival sock. I started knitting this on my class with Veera Välimäki. I took her yoked sweater class, and I have since finished the first sock, and I haven't cast on the next one yet. The yarn that I'm using is Knitlops Lair. I forgot the base name. It's a new yarn that she has. It's a glittery sock yarn. So it's pretty much the same as Väinämöinen, the one that I have most often used for my socks, but this is a sparkly base, so it has silver stellina in it, and I thought that it would be very appropriate for a festival sock. In this bag I also have this weird looking thing, which is my swatch for some future designs. I'm not going to detail in it, but I thought that I would cast on a narrow tube so that I could try out some stitch patterns that I have in mind. Veera Välimäki designed a yoked sweater for the class that I took in Jyväskylä, and I cast that sweater on about 2 weeks ago. And I have made quite good progress on it. So in case you haven't seen the pattern, it is a yoked sweater, a very loose fitted And it is just mostly stockinette stitch, striped body, and under the arms there is a reverse stockinette bit. I'm knitting mine in hedgehog fiber skinny singles, which I have had in my stash for a while. 2 different colorways. This dark gray with neon speckles is called Oracle. And then one of my favorite colorways, Teacup, which is a natural white with some bright pink and blue and brown and all kinds of speckles. So there are similar colors in both of these, and it creates this like a blurry stripy effect. And sometimes it's a bit hard to know which stripe you're working on, because there are natural white bits in the grey yarn as well. I didn't alternate the skeins on the top part, and you can see there is a little bit pooling happening at the front, but I don't think it matters too much. And this is what it looks like at the back. The beginning of row is at center back, and at first I thought that I wouldn't care about the jogs because there were similar bits in the yarn. But when I started it was quite obvious that that's where the beginning of row was. So I decided to slip the first stitch on the second row of the stripe, so it blends in a bit more, but I don't think it matters, even if you can see the stripes or the color changes. I really like this kind of knit where you don't really have to think about or worry about too much about the stitch pattern or counting your stitches or anything else. And the stripes make you want to knit one more row, one more stripe, so it goes quickly. And I tried on this sweater, the sample sweater that Vera had with her in the class. It was size M. It fit me perfectly fine, but in the end I chose size S, which is what my size was, just in case the sweater would stretch out, because it's singles and they tend to stretch out. I didn't even bother doing a swatch because I pretty much know what my gauge was in this yarn and with the needles that I'm using. I think I'm using my Chaogu circular needles in size 4mm, which is US 6. That's pretty standard size for fingering weight yarn. I'm really looking forward to having this sweater finished. I need to check the kettle. We still have 10 more degrees to go, so I should be fine. Okay, I have also casted on the Sammal cardigan for my mother, which I have mentioned earlier. I had been swatching earlier. It's a cardigan by Hohi Locatelli, and she designed it for the Finnish yarn Tukuwool, but I'm using Rainbow Heirloom yarn, which I bought from Edinburgh Yarn Festival. The colorway is called a Pariton or something like that. I don't know what you would call that. So it's their Solo Light, which is singles, superwash, 100% superwash merino wool. I am a bit concerned how the singles will behave in the cardigan, because the yarn is so different from the original one. But I looked at some Ravelry projects and I noticed that some other people had been knitting it on singles as well, so I hope it's fine. And I really like how the swatch came out, and it's really soft, and my mother wanted it to be soft and quite lightweight. I also swatched it in Knitlops Lair Tuulentytär, which is a twist merino yarn, also 100% superwash merino. It's a bit more dense with the same needle size, and I just wanted to see if the stitch definition was a lot different in that yarn. It is a little bit different, but I think you can see the stitch pattern also in the singles, and also the color is a bit different. This is more tonal, but I think it works just fine, and I really enjoy knitting singles. So this is how far I have gotten so far. It's a lot slower to knit this one than the sides and stripes, for example, because it is all over textured. So there is the little cable detail which comes in the front on both sides. The button band is in garter stitch, and then everywhere else there is moss stitch. And because of the moss stitch, you do get rest rows on the wrong side, so it's not quite as how would I say it? It doesn't require as much brain power as you would think. So all the things that are happening in the stitch patterning is happening on the right side. And I'm using another set of Chaugo 4mm needles, I think. I got these from the Knit Festival in Jyväskylä. Yes. US 6 4mm. And I also got this lovely set of stitch markers from Päivi, who is another Finnish podcaster. Her podcast is in Finnish, Päivi's Crafts. And I wonder if I can show you these beautiful stitch markers. She has given these for other podcasters at the meetup in Jyväskylä Knit Festival, but I wasn't there anymore on Saturday when Päivi was there, so she was so kind that she wanted to send me this set after the festival. So thank you, Päivi. It was very, very lovely little package you sent me. I really enjoy these beautiful stitch markers that you have made. This is the kind of project that I work on when I'm home alone, because it does require more concentration than any other of my projects at the moment. And then finally, I also have my shawl design project, which I finally ripped back halfway back. I was like probably 80% done with it when I realized that I really have to rethink the decrease intervals, and I ripped back to probably about 40% done, and now I have been knitting or re-knitting that bit, and I have to say, Tuulias yarn, again Knitlops Lair, Tuulen tytär, 100% superwash merino. It's a twist yarn. It really holds up well, even if you have to unravel. Like this one bit I unraveled probably 4 or 5 times, and the yarn looks still fine. So really high quality yarn. I'm not going to show you the shawl yet. I will show it when it's finished, and I'm sorry that I've been teasing you with it, but I just thought that I would share just a little glimpse of the design process, because it really does take a lot of trials sometimes to design, and I want to be 100% confident about my design before I put it out. So eventually it will come out. Just be patient. I just had to check the kettle, and it's almost 80 degrees, so I have to start paying attention that it doesn't get too hot, but it's really exciting. The color has really gotten into the yarn now. The change is amazing compared to the first, I don't know, hour or so. So where was I? My whips were all those. I still have my coral sweater, which is my long-term project as it appears, and my monkey socks, which I have shown you earlier. I haven't worked at all on those. So these are the whips that I have made some progress with. The sun is shining a bit brighter at the moment. I hope you can see me still, because I'm in the shadow and the rest of the yard is in the sun. I have been sewing quite a lot during this summer, and I don't think that I have shown you my finished objects at all. You might have seen a glimpse of these at the Knit Festival or on the video vlog that I did during the festival. These are all wrinkled because they have been in my bag for the last couple of days, but let's go through them anyway. This is a dress I made out of Verson Puotis stretch jersey fabric or something. I don't really know the names in English. It's a very comfortable dress. I would live in this if I could. if the weather was right and if I didn't have to wash it every now and then. It has 3/4 length sleeves around neckline, which I bound off like that, and a little ruffle at the waist. It's actually at the high waist, and then it's about knee length, and I had to put a couple of darts at the back because of the way my back is shaped, and I actually should make them a bit deeper because it is a bit baggy at the back. But all in all, I'm very pleased with how it turned out. I haven't been using ready-made patterns lately because we have been making our patterns at the pattern course that I'm taking, and I do see a big difference in the commercial patterns versus the ones that you make to fit, and I am not 100% happy with the way this fits. I had to do a bit of adjusting, but it still doesn't fit perfectly, but it's perfectly fine anyway. And I am planning on buying some more dress fabric, some jersey from the store, which is actually in our town. They have really nice prints and really high quality fabrics at this store, so there will be some more sewing ahead. And then just a sec, I have to check my kettle again. Yes, it's almost up to 80 now. This is just a top that I made from the double gauze cotton that I ordered from Japan. Just a simple basic top. Also very comfortable. I have been wearing this one a lot as well. This is based on my own patterns from the pattern course. And then, sorry, I'm rushing through because I need to start washing the kettle soon. Another top, also Japanese double gauze fabric. This is a bit longer than the rain top. It's really wrinkled, but you get the idea. Little, do you call them capped sleeves or something? I don't know. Little sleeves anyway, around neckline, and the hem is a little bit curved, so it's a bit higher at the front and lower at the back. This year I have been paying more attention to the patterns that I'm making at the class. I want to have a collection of simple basic patterns that I can use to sew at home instead of the really complicated ones that I have been doing in the past. I might actually show some of the projects that I have been sewing in a future episode. Those have been really big projects which I would never be doing by myself at home, but these are simple enough so that I can just whip them up in a few hours at home. And I'm thinking about also making a simple dress pattern for myself to sew up more jersey dresses. But I think the next dress that I'm going to try is from this new Ottobre Woman magazine, which just arrived this week. I have been subscribing to this magazine and also their kids magazine for years and years, almost from the beginning, since they have been publishing these. And they had a jersey dress pattern in this magazine, and I think I'm going to try this pattern next time. I think I forgot to tell that the pattern that I used for the swallow dress was from Mekko Tehdas book. It's a Finnish book which has several dress patterns for women. So I'm gonna have a go with this one. I usually have been very pleased with their patterns, and I think you can subscribe to this magazine also internationally, and I think they have an English version, and they might have also a Dutch version of the magazine. I think they have that for each of their issues. You might want to check their website. So it's ottobredesign.com. Okay, those were my projects, and before the haul I need to check my yarn and probably start monitoring it more. So I will record the rest of the episode a bit later. I'm back now. It's already evening on the same day, and finally I have some time to show you my yarn haul from Jyväskylä Knit Festival. I've been dyeing all day and it's been very exciting. You might be able to see the results of the first dyeing over there, hanging on the clothesline, but I will show them to you on my dye video. But let's go through my new yarn from Jyväskylä. This is Finnish organic wool and silk. It's 50-50. It's natural white, and I bought 2 skeins of this. It is 100 grams and 350 meters in one skein. I would say it looks more about fingering weight yarn than sport, but it is a bit thick and thin. So I would say it's somewhere in between in average. And I bought these 2 skeins for dyeing purposes. So the other one is already in the pot right now. I'm using madder root for this one, and I'm using the other skein for the first dye, and then the after color for the second one. And this is really soft and nice. I'm planning to make Hohi's Midsummer Haze cowl, which she designed for Jyväskylä Knit Festival. So I think it would be nice to have that cowl knit in a yarn that I bought from there. Then I have this huge bag, my Knit Festival bag, full of one particular yarn. It is naturally dyed, beautiful pink, very light pastely pink with like a few specks of a bit darker pink. This is from Rauwerk Yarns, which is a German yarn company. I think all of their yarns are organic. It's DK weight and incredibly soft yarn. I think it's wool. And I am planning to make Andrea Mowry's Ronan cardigan, which she designed for Brooklyn Tweed. And this yarn was very affordable, and it feels amazing. I haven't swatched yet, but I'm quite anxious to start swatching, to see how it behaves and how the stitch definition is. But this yarn caught my eye immediately when I saw it. So I bought 7 skeins of it, which should be enough for me for a loosely fitted cardigan. I think this is my favorite purchase from Jyväskylä. Then I have another bag full of yarns as well. You probably recognize this. It's La Bien-Aimé's fabric bag, tote bag, which I got when I purchased their yarns. So let's start with those. I have 3 skeins of their merino twist, I think. This label says merino singles, but it's not singles. It is definitely their twist fingering weight yarn. And the colorway, according to this label, which I'm not sure if it's correct, but it says driftwood graffiti. It is this beautiful gray with rusty orange speckles. And then I asked if they would have more of a tonal skein of this orange, but they didn't have it at the festival. But Amy was kind enough to take an order from me, and I just received this skein this week. I think it was on Friday. So this will be a combo for a sweater, I think, with orange stripes or orange highlights for the cuffs or something. I'm not sure about the pattern yet. I have another sweater quantity here in fingering weight yarn, and I think one of them will be Veera Välimäki's pavement sweater. Yeah. But I'm not sure if it's going to be this one. I might save this yarn for a bit later. I have so many projects that I want to work on, and I want to start working on the Ronan cardigan next, I think. Then I have some yarn from a Finnish dyer, and I have no idea how you pronounce this name. Lanitium ex machina or ex machina. And the label says that it's their pure merino base, which is 100% superwash merino high twist, and it doesn't have the colorway name, but it is this really dark purpley black. I'm not sure if it's visible on the screen how beautiful this colorway is. It's really deep colorway. And then I bought this skein, which is the same base, and this is like an antique rose with some brown and I don't know, mauve or purple or something. There's a variety of different colors in this, and I think these go really well together. And like with the La Bien Aimée yarn, I am not sure what I'm going to knit out of these. I could knit the pavement sweater also out of these and save that La Bien Aimée yarn for something else. Or maybe there will be a new pattern coming up this autumn, which I like. We'll see. I also want to knit Joji's Granito, but I think it requires 4 skeins, and as you can see I have 3 in this color. I don't know if it would work somehow with this one as a highlight color. I don't know, I'll have to think about it. And also from Lanitium Ex Machina I bought this sock blank with greys and fuchsia, brown, black, purple. I think this is just one really long tube. I think this is a bit different than what you normally see as a sock blank. It is a lot more narrow, and I wonder if the patterning will change that much because this is such a narrow blank. But it is quite loosely knit and it is a little bit wider than my sock would be. So I guess that would mix up the colors and the patterning when knit up. I think you might even be able to get 2 pairs of socks out of this, don't you think? Because it is this long. So like this much yarn for 1 sock would be enough, I would think. And then we have a few mini skeins which I received in a goodie bag from the evening party that we had at the festival. There was only 1 tag with the yarn. So this is a tweed yarn, rusty orange or brown, and it says Kässäkerho Pom Pom, which is a yarn shop in eastern Finland, and they have their own tweed yarn line, so I think this is their yarn. I'm not sure if this one is as well. I think this feels more like a silk yarn. It is beautiful violet, dark violet, purple, with a hint of bright blue and some burgundy. And then I received this natural white mini skein, which I'm guessing is non-treated wool. And there were a few separate cards in. So the alarm went off on my phone to let me know that my yarn dye is ready. But anyway, I was saying that there were a couple of other cards in the goodie bag that I received. So they might be the cards from the companies or the businesses whose yarn these are. But I must have left the cards at home because they were not in the bag. Yeah, so these 3 mini skeins were the ones that I received from the goodie bag. And finally, there seems to be another festival badge in here. And I also have my staff pass when I was volunteering at the evening party. So that's all of my yarn haul from the festival. So there's plenty of yarn to be knitting with, and now that I'm dyeing, I have even more interesting yarn to play with. So I think I will be sorted out for the rest of the year now. I don't need any more yarn, and I really shouldn't buy any more yarn in a while. I think this will be all that I have this time around. I will put the yarn dyeing video at the end of this episode, unless it is long enough to be a separate episode. I will know once I have finished dyeing and filming and editing. Thanks for watching again, and thank you for all your lovely messages through Ravelry and Instagram. I have enjoyed reading each and every one of them, and they make me so happy. So keep them coming. And if you have any questions or suggestions for my podcast, please head over to the Ravelry group. And also the show notes for each episode will be found on the Frostbites podcast group on Ravelry. Until next time, bye.